right, Q&A. Can a provisionally licensed therapist bill under my NPI? So the process of allowing another provider to bill under your National Provider Identifier, also known as your NPI, is known as billing as supervisor or incident to billing. These terms are used interchangeably. Before we launch into whether billing for provisionally licensed therapists is allowed and under what circumstances, I want to first thank our sponsor and our EHR of choice, TherapyNotes. TherapyNotes is a robust practice management system that we use to schedule our clients, to submit in-network and out-of-network claims, collect client payments, and more. So head on over to therapynotes.com, use our community code MIMH for 3 free months. So let's go ahead and tackle this question of the day. Whether you can bill for a provisionally licensed therapist or not largely depends on a few of the following things, and we're going to go through them together. So the first thing is the licensure status of your clinician. Are they licensed? And what is their licensure type? And what's the license of your supervisor? Are they even eligible to supervise them from a board perspective and then from a contract perspective? What is the entity type and the contract type for your organization? And fourth, what does the insurance contract allow? These are the 4 things that we have to consider. So go back to number 1, the provisionally licensed clinician must be registered or in a category that is acknowledged by the state. So students generally are not eligible. Number 2, the supervisor must be within your organization. An external supervisor cannot bill incident to services. Number 3, the question regarding billing under a supervisor's license, it comes up a lot because many of us have worked in settings such as agencies and hospitals where this practice is quite common. It is important to understand that agencies and hospitals, they have a completely different contract type than what we're allowed, right? And they're able to bill for services and provider types that are not allowed in private practice. And so please don't fall prey to the mentality that my previous group practice did it or my previous employer did it. It will not suffice as a legitimate defense against recoupment or contract violation. And lastly, and I say this often and I cannot emphasize it enough, what does your contract or your provider manual say about incident to billing or billing as a supervisor? Again, a rep can tell you that it's allowed, but always ask for the policy. This policy around incident to billing was created for medical residents and has been adapted by other disciplines and practice settings through advocacy efforts. But this also explains why some of the terms aren't as applicable to the mental health field. So a good rule of thumb is to get it in writing. Again, this means if you speak to a provider of services at the insurance company and they tell you that it's allowed, ask for a copy of the policy in writing. Can they refer you to the section in your contract or in the provider manual that addresses this? Again, you're ultimately liable for what happens with your organization. So if incident to billing is contractually allowed, you want to ensure that a few things are in place. Number 1, you know how the insurance company wants the claim to be submitted. Do they want the supervisor's name on that claim, along with the provisionally licensed clinician, or do they only want the supervisor's name? You want to know that so that you know how to bill that claim. It'll decrease the likelihood of denials and rejections. Second thing is, does your EHR keep track of who delivered the service versus who billed for the service? Another reason we love TherapyNotes. This is an important aspect for auditing and reporting purposes. Again, another reason we love TherapyNotes is because it has a historical record. We know who rendered it and we know who billed for it. We can see that. The third thing is does the insurance company require a specific modifier that's used when you're billing for provisionally licensed clinicians? Some plans require this. Most often, these are managed care organizations. If you'd like us to answer a question, if you have a question you want us to go live and do a recording, go ahead and go to qa.masteringinsurance.com. You also can join us for live office hours by joining our admin academy at masteringinsurance.com/admin-academy. Find us on Facebook and follow us. We post these types of tips and things every single day. So make sure that you're getting your questions answered in a timely manner by a trusted resource. And so I hope this was helpful for you. Again, feel free to submit your question and we'll talk to you later.